Christianity has been present in India for nearly 2 millennia. Over this time, it has found pockets of success among some lower caste and tribal communities through missionary-run schools and hospitals, and within ancient Christian communities like the St. Thomas Christians of Kerala. In recent years, charismatic movements promising healing and prosperity have also attracted some followers. Yet, despite these successes, Christianity never became the dominant religion in India. It failed to win the heart of the nation as a whole. Why? What factors limited its spread and acceptance in this vast and diverse land? In this video, we will explore the main reasons behind Christianity's limited impact in India, despite centuries of presence and missionary zeal. The number one reason Christianity failed in India is this: ancient religious and cultural foundations. India is home to one of the world's oldest continuous religious traditions, rooted deeply in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. These faiths were not only religions but comprehensive ways of life, shaping philosophy, art, social structure, and identity. Christianity, arriving as a foreign religion, was often seen as alien, disconnected from the cultural soil of India. Its teachings and rituals were unfamiliar to many, making it difficult to replace or overshadow indigenous traditions that had evolved over millennia. But cultural differences also led to the challenge of religious exclusivity. And that's reason number two: religious pluralism and flexibility. Indian religions tend to emphasize pluralism and coexistence, allowing individuals to engage with multiple traditions simultaneously. Christianity's exclusive claim that it alone offers the path to salvation clashed with this worldview. Many Indians did not see a need to abandon their traditional beliefs entirely, especially when Christianity demanded total allegiance. This exclusivity made conversion less attractive, especially when combined with social and cultural costs. But beyond theological differences, the way Christianity treated Indian religions also played a critical role in deepening the divide. That's reason number three: disrespect toward Indian religions. Many early missionaries and evangelists approached Indian religions with open contempt. Hinduism was dismissed as superstition, idolatry, or devil worship. Instead of building bridges, this posture created deep resentment. Rather than engaging with the complexity and depth of Indian spirituality, Christianity was often presented as a superior alternative, aiming to replace rather than understand. This not only alienated Hindus but also painted Christianity as intolerant and arrogant in the eyes of many Indians. And reason number four: moral condescension and theological rigidity. Christianity often came with a sense of moral superiority. Indian customs, festivals, dietary practices, and even family systems were judged as inferior or sinful. This moral rigidity created an emotional and cultural distance between Christians and non-Christians. It limited dialogue, built walls instead of bridges, and made Christianity seem less like a path to enlightenment and more like a tool of judgment. And this sense of moral superiority was not just in words. It was also embedded in the cultural packaging of Christianity itself. Number five: failure to indigenize. Christianity often failed to adapt itself to Indian cultural and philosophical frameworks. Instead of translating its message into Indian idioms, it brought Western forms of worship, dress, music, and theology. The gospel was often wrapped in European culture. Churches looked like colonial buildings, sermons sounded foreign, and religious art depicted a white Jesus with European features. This lack of indigenization reinforced the perception that Christianity was not truly Indian. The foreignness was not just visual or symbolic. It extended into the very language and forms through which the faith was expressed. Reason number 6: language and cultural barriers. Missionaries often promoted Christianity using European languages and Western cultural forms. While some Indian languages were used in translation and preaching, Christianity's rituals and worldview often felt foreign and disconnected from local cultures. In contrast, Hinduism and other Indian religions were deeply embedded in regional languages, literature, and festivals, strengthening their appeal and social cohesion. But cultural disconnection was only one part of the problem. To truly understand the resistance to Christianity, we need to consider the role of history, especially the shadow of colonial rule. Number 7. Colonial association and resistance. Christianity's growth in India is often tied to European colonial powers, Portuguese, British, French, who sometimes used the religion as a tool for political control and cultural dominance. This association created suspicion and resistance. Many Indians saw Christianity as the religion of foreign rulers and conquerors, making it less appealing as a faith of liberation and empowerment. Missionaries did provide education, healthcare, and social services, but the colonial backdrop complicated the message, intertwining religion with power and control in the eyes of many Indians. In response to both colonial rule and missionary pressure, Hinduism itself began to change, reviving and reforming to defend its identity. And reason number 8. Rise of Hindu revivalism. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Hindu thinkers and reformers began reclaiming and reinterpreting Hindu philosophy in response to both colonial rule and missionary efforts. Figures like Swami Vivekananda, Dayananda Saraswati, and others promoted Hindu identity with pride and intellectual vigor. This revival movement energized Hindu self-confidence and resisted religious conversion. It also redefined Hinduism as a sophisticated, inclusive, and flexible tradition, countering missionary critiques and reducing Christianity's perceived superiority. Still, there remained one group for whom Christianity might have held real promise: India's lower castes. But even there, the church stumbled. That's reason number 9. Potential among lower castes, a missed opportunity. One might think that Christianity could have found fertile ground among India's lower caste communities, those marginalized and oppressed under the rigid caste system. Indeed, some lower caste groups did convert, seeking dignity and new identity. But even here, Christianity struggled, because the faith did not always break caste barriers within its own communities. Social hierarchies often persisted, and the promise of equality before God did not fully translate into social equality on the ground. Moreover, many churches maintained cultural norms that aligned more with upper caste traditions, making it difficult for many lower caste converts to feel truly accepted and empowered. Christianity's claim to equality was weakened in India by its inability to dismantle caste hierarchies even within its own churches, a challenge that church institutions and missionaries struggled to overcome. In the end, all these failures point to something deeper, a misreading of India itself. And that is reason number 10. India's soul was not waiting for Christianity. Despite centuries of presence, powerful institutions, and missionary zeal, Christianity never won the heart of India. Why? Because India was not waiting to be saved by a foreign religion. It already had its own answers, drawn from ancient traditions. But more importantly, it had its own questions. And Christianity failed not just because its answers were unconvincing, but because it never truly understood the questions India was asking.